Welcome back. I'm eager to hear what you came up with as in your discussions as a team. And the way we'll do that is if the spokesperson, if you'll just click the hand that's at the bottom of your screen, that'll raise your hand and that'll let me know who you are, so I can bring you up onto the stage, and we'll have a discussion. So there's one so far. Rose. Okay, Rosemary, I'm bringing you up, and Rowan. Great. Hi, Rosemary.
Hi. Yes, welcome to my kitchen.
Oh yeah, COVID. That's all right. We're all doing that. Thanks for being a spokesperson for your team. And Rowan, I'm trying to bring Rowan up, but he might be on a phone. I should have mentioned that to come up on the stage, you need to be on a computer, a laptop. Liz, okay, Liz, I'm bringing you up. Rowan, try and refresh your screen if you're on a laptop.
Is on a phone. I'm Rowan.
Hi, Liz. Are you replacing Rowan? Okay, great, fantastic. All right, so let's debrief the AND case. So I'm gonna put the AND case, the AND profile up in the chat, or it's actually in the chat, I believe. Can everybody see the AND case? Great. So as I said, the improvement plan I put up was a fake one, of course. So Liz, would you like to go first? What did your team come up with in terms of the 3 steps?
Actually, we only got to do Dwayne. So
You only did Dwayne.
Right.
Okay.
So when you get to Dwayne, we'll.
Okay, good. I'll keep you up here. You're not going anywhere. Great. Rosemary.
Well, that's great because we only did Anne.
Okay, great. Note to self. 12 minutes is the time it takes to do one. Okay, I'll remember this next time.
Yeah. And if we had more time, we'd still be at it. All right. So we actually looked at all her issues, and we looked at lost information. We thought we could bump her up to maybe bronze. We're on the fence. So we said, we realized that you put listing and scheduling together. So we are taking that as one.
Okay.
Right, and not 2.
So the first change you should make is what then?
We can put listing and scheduling.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Right. That's what I was thinking. For the loss of information.
So you would move listing and scheduling
to
and move it up to, I guess you would go to a bronze.
A bronze, right.
Right.
That was something we weren't sure of. Can we only move them up 1 level?
Yeah, the recommendation is that for the sake of the exercise, 1 level. Yes.
Okay. All right. We'd also move. I think I'm wondering if we did it wrong now. Now that I'm looking at your improvement plan. Emptying, tossing, habiting. All right. We also looked at. All right. Let me look back at it instead because I can't see that tiny thing.
Okay.
So what we did was tackle the symptoms.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So
That's the way to do it, right?
Okay. So feeling of overwhelm, we thought that moving scheduling from just starting as well to a bronze.
Okay.
Would take care of that. And it would also help, and switching as well. So it would help with, switching would help with multitasking and feeling of overwhelm.
Okay. Ryan, I'm bringing you up. Ryan just raised his hand as well, so I'm going to bring him up as well.
Okay. And then the third thing we think.
Switching.
Right. So the 3 we've chosen are switching, listing and scheduling, and flowing to help
Flowing.
with no deep work, no time doing deep work or flow. So
Okay,
those are the
great.
three.
So the first one was listing, the second one was switching, and the third one was flowing.
Right. No, listing and scheduling. And if we were to
Listing and
choose,
scheduling.
right, if
Sorry,
we were to choose, we would choose scheduling.
you choose scheduling. Okay.
Right.
All right. So there is a kind of a right answer to this from my point of view. Now, when I say right answer, you have to take that with a grain of salt because we don't really know what's going on in Anne's life. We
Right.
don't have a lot of detail. But the general recommendation for someone like an Anne with that profile is that they need to start flowing first. So the third, you put that as your third choice. I would
We
recommend
didn't
that
put
she
it in
actually.
order. We just, I didn't know it was supposed to be in order. We just looked at the things.
Okay, no problem. But you identified flowing correctly. Now the reason is that if she knows nothing about any of the other practices, she at least needs to flow so she does her job well. That's the basic. Ryan, did I give the answer away for what you guys were doing? We're gonna say what did you guys come up with?
You're muted, Ryan.
Oh, I muted Ryan because Ryan, there's some feedback coming from you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ryan.
Now he's muted again.
Now it's muted again, right? Talk. Go ahead, Ryan. Yes. Great.
No, I think it's Ryan's internet.
Ryan, yes, but turn off your camera. I think it's eating up your bandwidth. He's muted again. Yeah, turn off your camera, Ryan. Yes. Uh-oh, he's having bad bandwidth problems. Okay. And he's not hearing me saying turn off the camera. Let me see if I can turn off his camera for him. Stop video. Yeah, I can do it.
Oh,
All right, I took Ryan down due to the trouble. Liz, we're gonna come over to you. I'm gonna bring you down also. Rosemary, thank you so much. Liz, go ahead.
So we were trying to figure out for Dwayne what we thought would get him the most bang for his buck.
Right.
So what's the leading item that's going to impact the others the most?
Right.
And we thought that his three and a half really weak areas were scheduling. He rushes from one thing to another, and that suggests that he's not controlling his calendar and that he's doing an enormous amount of switching and possibly interrupting. So that if he were able to schedule better, that the improved scheduling would give him more opportunity to do all the other things.
Okay, fair enough.
So that was kind of our that working on his scheduling would allow for less switching.
Okay.
And would help him, force him to identify the interruptions. And then we weren't certain how far to push that, kind of thinking that if those things moved up to bronze, that at that point, we'd probably want to do a reevaluation.
Okay.
Again, to see what effort is going to get him the most return.
Okay, that's so that what Liz is saying is exactly how it works in real life. That whereas you can make a plan for 3 changes and you can be somewhat accurate, the truth is when you make a change, because you're looking at a system that's interconnected, it will result in different symptoms. So it pays to make a change and then observe the system to see what happens next. That's a great observation, Liz. No, there is a right answer, like I mentioned. A right answer. So there isn't really a right answer, but the recommendation that I would make would actually be capturing. And the reason is that when someone is a bronze in capturing, it's such a low level that it pollutes the rest of the system. It's the entry point for all tasks. And when that's a low skill, every other task downstream suffers as a result. So the first recommendation I give to people after flowing is that they need to get their capturing up to at least a silver level, and then they could look at the other skills. Now, again, this is not like an exact science. I'm not, whereas we've studied hundreds of profiles and we have data on lots of people who've done this, it's still not like exceedingly scientific and exceedingly exact. So the best I could tell you is that we are making very informed guesses or very informed judgments. And where I want to take this to is to have you guys make these judgments for yourselves, of course. Great. So Liz, thanks so much for that insight. That's excellent. I'm gonna bring you down. Guys, we don't have any more time actually to bring anyone else up. Thank you again, Liz. Thank you. I see a whole lot of hands going up. The time is upon us. And I'm gonna just take us through the last few of when we're here in presentation mode, because by the way, I'm gonna leave the room. We're gonna open up a brand new room so that we can keep networking. I'm going to actually give you another case, but let me jump to the next slides for the reporting. So let me ask you a question. What if I gave you a case that had no symptoms? What then? So imagine there's a John Doe and John Doe has no symptoms. So put your answer in the chat. Let me see if you guys come up with, this one has a right answer, but let's see if you could guess. What do you do if there are no symptoms? That none of the symptoms. He's not sick. Okay. And then what does that mean, Rosemary, that he's not sick? Susan says reality check, there's always something wrong. But let's really assume that, you know, he's actually fine with where he's at. Okay. So we're at the 2-minute mark. All right, guys. So there, I'm going to actually stop here and give you a special instruction so that we can just continue and keep going. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the recording. And in a couple of minutes time, the way the system works is that you need to do a refresh every periodically, and our refresh is coming up in 2 minutes time or 1.5 minutes. So all you'll need to do, I think I have a slide that tells you what to do, is to refresh your browser, because the browser is actually going to close, and the event, it's going to tell you that the event is closed if you come back too quickly. So refresh the browser and just keep refreshing the browser until you come back into the room. Okay, so all you need to do is going to say the event is closed. Just refresh that browser. Give me a minute to make an adjustment behind the scenes, and we'll continue on. And we have about 10 minutes left to go, by the way. So I'm going to crave your indulgence that we can keep going for the next 10 minutes. So when we get cut off, once again, just refresh your browser. It'll take me a couple of minutes to catch up and to get things ready. So if you want to grab a drink or use the restroom, no problem. We will pick up right where we left off right here. Oh, you guys have a real class to go to. Okay, good. Craig, thanks for being here, and thanks for bringing your students. Craig, I'll send you the third case via WhatsApp so you guys can use it. Great. We had students from an MBA class, folks, and there were quite a few of them actually. Very interesting. So I think MBA students, as you may imagine, are dealing with a lot of tasks, and this could be a real great one for them. Okay. Holy students,